Have you ever seen anything like this before? Have you seen this, like something like this before? This is how computers operate. This is the only way computers operate. If you are ever put inside the computer, this is the only thing you will see. This is the only thing computers understand. And in all of information technology, this is IT. What you are seeing is IT. On Monday, we started our lesson on introduction to computers, and we want to find out what computers are. This is our first lesson, and this is a fundamental lesson that you need to take to understand how computers work. And with this lesson, you will begin to build your foundation in knowing how to use computers. This amazing technology we have, if we do not understand it, we will not be able to use it the way we are supposed to. And so today we want to continue and finish with the lesson, and we'll be having a test on this topic. So we looked at what is a computer, introduction to computers, and we said that computers are programmable electronic devices that can take information as input, store it, and process it to make an output. It helps in solving problems quickly and easily. It is referred to as a programmable device because it uses programs. Programs here means software to solve problems. In our previous lesson, we spent some time talking about software, and we said that there are two categories of software, or two types of software. Who can tell me what the two are? Yes. We have system software and application software. Now, when we say system software, what do we mean? So we said it's a software designed for the system, for the proper function of the system. It is not a software that the user will need to perform a task, but a software that the system itself will need to function properly. That is what we said the last time about system software. And we said examples of system software, our operating system is a perfect example of system software, because the operating system is a software that the machine itself needs before it will create the environment for the user to use the computer in the first place. Every computer requires an operating system. So we'll have a lesson dedicated to operating system, and we will study more about it, because it is the master software that controls a computer. Every computer needs that master program. That master program is an operating system, and we talked about several examples of operating systems such as Windows, Mac OS, Linux. We also talked about Android, iOS, and Windows Mobile operating system. So we'll have a lesson on this, and we'll go deeper to understand it. All right. Now, we also talked about application software. When we say application software, what do we mean by application software? So application software refers to software designed for the end user to perform a task. Last time we mentioned the term end user, and we said end user refers to who? Okay, so the end user refers to the user of the computer, and more specifically, it is a user of an application. So the user of an application is called the end user. So let's continue with our studies and learn more. We said a computer cannot do anything without a program. All the IT you'll be learning, maybe you will not know it, but all the IT you'll be learning will be about an operating system. The operating system is the IT you are learning, how the operating system operates. That is why when you are put in a different operating system, you realize that you do not know anything about that operating system. If you spend all your life studying about Windows and they put you in Linux environment, you will be like someone who has never used a computer before. And so as you advance, you delve into other operating systems like Mac OS and Linux. All right. Today, we'll be continuing our studies, and I want to show you a short clip to explain some of the concepts I want to talk about. But before that, let's talk about the language of computers. All right, so we are going to talk about the language of computers. Now, when we say language of computers, what comes to your mind? When we say language of computers, what comes to mind? Yes. The language that a computer understands. Who knows the language that a computer understands? Yes. Binary. Excellent. Binary is the language of computers. Hello? When we talk about the language of computers, it says that the most basic language of computers is known as binary. Have you seen it? It is the simplest kind of number system in the world and uses only 2 digits of 0 and 1 to form binary codes. An example is what we see here. 01000001. This is a binary code. Hello? We will have a lesson on binary, and we will go into the world of binary, and you will learn how binary codes operate. Without these basic lessons, your understanding of computers will not be solid. Now, when we talk about computer language, listen to me, we have what we call machine code or machine language, and we also have programming language. When we talk about computer language, I said we have what? Machine code, which is also called machine language. So you can say we have machine language and programming what? Languages. Let's call them languages. We have machine language and programming languages. Let me tell you this. Computers only understand one language. One and only one. And the language computers understand is zeros and ones. Zeros and what? Please, I said zeros and what? Have you ever seen zeros and ones before? Maybe they are talking about technology and all you will see will be zeros and ones flying around. Have you seen anything like that before? Let me give you an example. Watch this. Have you ever seen anything like this before? Have you seen this, like something like this before? This is how computers operate. This is the only way computers operate. If you are ever put inside the computer, this is the only thing you will see. This is the only thing computers understand. And in all of information technology, this is IT. What you are seeing is IT. And so you as computer students, you need to be introduced to this. It's a language. It's code. Let me tell you, any information on a computer is just ones and zeros. What we have been able to achieve as humans is to be able to interpret machine language to human language. Hello? Are you here? I said what we have been able to achieve through the advancement of our technology and education is to be able to interpret or translate machine language into human language. That is why when you are using a computer, you'll be seeing different things. You'll be seeing files and folders. You'll be seeing pictures. You'll be browsing the web. You'll be using Facebook. You'll be using WhatsApp. But in the back end, everything is this. Everything is this. When we talk about computer processing information, this is it. Have you ever seen a picture of yourself on a computer before? Hello? Have you ever seen a picture of yourself on a computer before? Now, on the outside, you as a human being will be seeing a photo. But on the inside, your photo is just zeros and ones. When the computer is storing your photo, it only stores zeros and ones. It only knows zeros and ones. But when you open it, it can translate it in a form that appears like an image for you to see and know the photo you have. Have you ever watched a movie on a computer before? Listen to me. When you are watching a Nigeria movie or any movie at all, inside the computer, you are only watching zeros and ones. You as a human being, you see human beings moving and you see action. But to the computer, it is just this. Do you see what is happening? This is what happens in a computer. This and only this. Computers do not understand anything else. So the IT that you want to know about, this is it. So this is what we call machine language. Everything inside the computer. When you go inside, when we pass the level of the screen and the keyboard and we enter into the machine, every single thing is this. Whether a Word document, whether a picture, a photo, a website, music, whatever, it is just ones and zeros. Now, we also have what we call programming languages. Programming languages are languages such as Java, C++, Python, PHP, C#. Have you heard of programming languages before? Okay, these programming languages, software engineers learn these languages to be able to write software. When I say write software, what I mean is that you write code or instructions that will command the computer to perform certain functions. And the software that we use, we talked about application software, right? Millicent, give me examples of application software. Google Chrome is an application software. Any other? Mavis Beacon. Any other? Excel. Any other? Adobe Photoshop. One more. Adobe Illustrator. It's okay. Let me tell you, this software that we use, like Microsoft Word, Excel, these programs we use, we have software engineers or programmers who make them. How do they make the software? They write code. Right now, I can go to my computer and make a software right now as we speak. I'll use a programming language and write code. Then the code, I will run the code and the code will work as a software. That is how software is made. Any software you have ever used, that is how it is made. But these software, they are written in programming languages And these programming languages are languages created out of the mother language. I told you computers understand just one language. But we have programming languages. There are several of them, more than 100. All the programming languages were created out of the mother language. And anytime you use a programming language to write a program, whatever you will write in that programming language will be translated back into the mother language, which is called what? Which is called binary. This is information technology. Now, when you hear programming languages, I told you that there are several of them. Right now, you need to be able to remember at least 7 programming languages. Right now, I said you need to remember how many? At least 7 programming languages. Are you here? Hello? I said you need to remember at least how many? Number 1, we have a programming language called Java. Have you heard of Java? Yes. Number 2, we have C++. Have you heard of C++? Number 3, we have C#. Number 4, we have PHP. Number 5, we have JavaScript. Number 6, we have HTML. Number 7, we have CSS. Number 8, we have MySQL. Number 9, we have SQL. Number 10, we have Python. Have you heard of Python? These days, Python is common. We can keep on listing, and we'll list about 100 programming languages. If you want to be a computer programmer, or a software engineer, or a computer engineer, you will be taught computer programming. And people who are able to program computers are the engineers, or are people who have gone deeper into the core of information technology. So if you have a dream to specialize in IT, one of the areas in IT that you should dream of becoming is becoming a software engineer. Someone wants to be a pilot, someone wants to be a lawyer, someone wants to be a doctor. People have dreams. If your dream is related to IT, then one of the best careers in IT is software engineering. How to make software, how to program computers, how to instruct computers with programming languages. Hello? Hello? So we use these programming languages to write code. And this code will be compiled and they will become software. Should I write a simple code for you to see?
Yes.
Pardon?
Yes.
All right. Listen to me. All the programs you mentioned as application software, and even operating systems. These are the languages we use to write operating systems. There's one language called C. Most operating systems are written in C. An upgrade of C is C++. I want to use C++ right now. Now, do you know Android apps? Android apps are written in this language here. What's the name? Java. Have you used an iPhone before? The language used to write iPhone apps or iOS apps is Objective-C. This is IT, real IT. Let me use C++ right now, and I'm going to write a software for you to see, just a simple one, just a 2 minutes program. Now, to write a software, you need what we call an IDE or a code editor. So I'm going to use this program here. The name of this program is what? Visual Studio Code. Is a code editor. I can use it to write code. Now, when you are writing code, you need to choose a language to write in. I want to write code right now. I've opened to my Visual Studio. They are telling me to select what? So let me click here and choose one of the languages here. Do you see C++? Excellent. Let me choose C++ right now. So I've selected C++. So I'm about to write in C++. Let me save my program. So I'll press Ctrl S and I'll save it in a folder that I've created for C++ apps. Let's call it introduction, or let's call it our program .c++. Save. So I'm about to write a program. So to write a program, you need to understand the language and you need to know how to program in the language. Now in C++, when you are coding, there are certain things you need to include in your code. You have to write in the language. Do you see what I'm writing? It looks like English, but it's not English. It is called C++. I'm coding in a computer language. Okay. Anytime you see someone programming, this is what they will be doing. They'll be writing code. What you see me do is exactly 100% of what you will see when any programmer is writing code. This is what you do. So I'm writing code. You choose a language to code in. So I'm coding in a language called C++. This is what software engineers do. They write code. That's exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so I've written a simple code. Let's test this code and see which program it will give us. Now, when you use Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, they are all made like this. I'm going to click here to run my program, and this program is going to run in what we call a console. And in programming, we don't make mistakes. Just one single mistake will crash the whole program. If you forget a comma, if you forget a letter, everything will crash. I forgot to bring one error, so you saw a lot of errors here. Now I've corrected it. So let's go and see what the program is telling us. Okay, so it says that enter your what? Enter your what? Someone should give me your first name. Give me your first name. It's telling you to enter your what? What's your last name? Now, it's telling you how old are you. I'm just going to put in an age. Which age did I put in? Huh? Have you seen what I put in? Okay, now watch this. What did he say? What did he say? So, I've written a simple program that will collect the name of people and tell them something. Let me tell you, I can tell the computer to do anything with the information it has received. I can tell the computer to make whatever it wants to make. And the program can be intelligent to know who has come in and what to show to the person. I just need to program it, write the code. Okay, now I'm going to put someone else's information. I'm going to tell the program to multiply your age by, let's say, by 10. Let's see. Okay, so Mary, what's your last name? Edo, like this. Okay, I'm going to give you 13 years. Hey! Mary, you are 130 years old. So, Marwena, what's your first name? Marwena, and your last name? Pardon? Boama. Okay, now I'm going to give you no, let me give 17. Hey! Now, what is happening here is because of the instructions I gave to the computer when I was coding. This is a computer language. So now when you talk about programming language, for some people, their minds will come on programming languages. And so they will tell you we have several languages, and they will mention the names. I said you are supposed to remember at least how many? 7. So I'm going to call you and you give me 7 programming languages right now. Java. C++. Objective-C. MySQL. JavaScript. It's 5. You give me 5. 2 more. Python. HTML. Excellent, wonderful, and splendid. The language I'm using right now is called what? C++. Every programming language is different. That means when you are giving instructions, you write in that language. You are seeing me write things like C out, C in, and those things. In PHP, we will not write C out and C in. PHP writes echo and in its own way. So this is programming languages. Anytime you are asked to give programming languages, these are the languages you are supposed to give. One day I met someone and the person got to know that I'm in IT. And he got to know that I'm in programming. I do programming. I asked him, do you do programming too? He said, oh yes. Then I asked him, because that's a question they'll ask you whenever we talk about programming. Which languages do you program in? He said, oh, English, French. When you hear that, it means a person doesn't know what they are talking about at all. So that person doesn't know anything about IT. When they ask you for computer programming languages or computer languages, you have to mention things like Java, C++, Python, PHP, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That's what you should mention. Then they know that you know what you are talking about. But then all these languages, they all come from the machine language. The only reason is that writing code in machine language is extremely complex. So to make it easier for programmers to write code, these languages have been created. And they were created out of machine language. Please, are you here? After you write code, you see what I'm writing? When I finish writing code, I'll come here and click on a button that says run code. You see run code. This run code will take my code into what we call a compiler. The compiler will translate whatever I've written here into what we call binary before it will work here. Before this program will work here, it has changed from C++ to binary. So the mother language of computers is binary. Are you with me? Okay, let me save my program. Next time I'll continue. I'll add more code, and before you realize, it's a big program. Every computer program is made this way. There's no other way. Okay, later you get more understanding. Alright, so this is a language of computers. I want to play a short video That will tell you a little bit more about computers, and we will take it from there.
Today, computers are all around us. From desktop computers to smartphones, they are changing the way that we live our lives. But have you ever asked yourself, what exactly is a computer? A computer is an electronic device that manipulates information or data. The computer sees data as ones and zeros, but it knows how to combine them into more complex things, such as a photograph, a movie, a website, a game, and much more. Computers use a combination of hardware and software. Hardware is any physical part of the computer, which includes all of the internal components and also the external parts like the monitor and the keyboard. Software is any set of instructions that tells the hardware what to do, such as a web browser, media player, or word processor. Now, when most people say computer, they're talking about a personal computer. This can be a desktop computer or a laptop computer, which has basically the same capabilities, but in a more portable package. Personal computers come in two main styles, PC and Mac. PCs are the most common type. There are many different companies that make them, and they usually come with the Microsoft Windows operating system. Macs, or Macintosh computers, are all made by one company, Apple, and they come with the Mac OS X operating system. Computers come in many other shapes and sizes. Mobile phones, tablets, game consoles, and even TVs have built-in computers, although they may not do everything a desktop or a laptop can. There's another type of computer that plays an important role in our lives: servers. A server serves information to other computers on a network. In fact, every time you use the internet, web servers deliver the web pages that you want to see to your computer. Servers are also used in many offices to store and share files. As you can see, there are many different types of computers out there, and they affect our lives in a variety of ways.
If you know what is here, what is just in this short video, the information in this short video alone, you know a lot about computers. If you understand what is said in this short video alone, you will learn a whole lot about IT. I'm sure you want to understand computers and you want to be good with computers. You want to know how to use computers effectively. The information in this video is solid. So you talk about servers. So in the video, we had something like personal computers, and we also had servers. In our subsequent lessons, we'll be learning about types of computers, and you will learn that PCs are not the only types of computers. When you say PC, you are simply talking about a personal computer. There are some types of computers we call personal computers. And I can give you 5 examples of personal computers. We have desktop computers, we have laptop computers, we have notebook computers, we have smartphones, and we have tablets. Are you aware of all these 5 devices? You know what a desktop computer is? You know what a laptop computer is? But I'm not sure you know what a notebook computer is. You know a smartphone and you know a tablet. You've seen a tablet before, right? Good. These are called personal computers or PCs. We will learn that PCs are not the only types of computers. Maybe all you know are PCs, but we have some computers called servers. They are servers. You will learn that we have computers that we call mainframes. Have you ever heard of mainframe computer? Have you ever heard of mainframe computer? Pardon? Should I ask you questions about mainframe? you will learn that we have supercomputers. These are all computers in use today. Supercomputers, mainframes, servers, PCs. And a whole lot more. Let's try and analyze the information in this video a little and see what we will pick up. First of all, the video said computers are all around us and we use these computers every day in our lives. These days, it is impossible to go a day without touching a computer. Your smartphone is a computer. Do you know that? Hello? Your smartphone is what? Can you go a day without using your smartphones? There are some people, when their phones are not with them, they can't function. They will not be free. If they don't have access to YouTube and Facebook, it's like something is wrong with them. And WhatsApp. Today we have become addicted to computers. If your phone is not working, you are not complete. Something is wrong with you. We have laptops, we have desktops, and a whole lot.
Today, computers are all around us. From desktop computers to smartphones, they are changing the way that we live our lives.
They have actually changed the way that we live our lives. These are computers. You see people using smartphones. You see people using tablets. Have you seen some tablets? Someone is using a tablet here. Someone is using a laptop here. And a whole lot more. A whole lot more. Okay. Now, the video said, what exactly is a computer? And he said a computer is an electronic device that manipulates information. It manipulates information or data. So this is a simple definition you can give to computers. Computers take information, and computers are able to process information to produce something. That is why we call them, we say they are able to manipulate information. In the past, all the machines that we humans were able to invent are machines that are only able to do manual works. Like a hammer, you use it to crush things or to hit on things. Wheelbarrow, we use it to carry things. We've made so many things, many machines or many devices. But it is not until the 20th century that we humans have been able to make a machine that doesn't just do manual work but can do thinking. Machines can do what? We have been able to create machines that can do thinking. They can actually manipulate information. They can actually think. Machines that can help us with our thinking work. And that is the computer. What makes the computer special is that the computer can help humans with our thinking jobs, not only our manual jobs. Later, we'll be learning about the generations of computers, how computers started, and where computer has gotten to today. Today, we are in the 5th generations of computer evolution or computer technology. When you understand what the 5th generation is, let me tell you, you will be amazed. You'll be shocked. If you are told what computers can do today, it will shock you. And these 5th generation computers, they are the computers that are about to take over the world. These computers are not computers that we instruct anymore. They are computers that can think for themselves, make decisions for themselves, and act on their own. Hello? A time is coming when you close from work and you go home, your computer will cook your food for you to eat. Hello? Your computer will cook your food for you to eat. Better than what you find in a 5-star hotel or a 5-star restaurant. A time is coming when you are sick at home, your computer can carry you from your house to the hospital. Wait a minute, you don't get what I'm saying. Your computer can carry you from your house and take you to the hospital. That is what is coming and what is already here. These computers, now we are putting them in cars. A time is coming when you sit in your car, you will not drive anymore. Your car will drive you to work, bring you back, take you anywhere. You will just sit in the car and be reading your book or watching a movie. You just sit in the car and the car will drive, take you wherever you want to go. You don't have to drive. When we get to the generations of computers, I will give you real life examples of these kind of computers that are being used around the world. Hello? Have you ever heard of self-driving cars? The car will drive by itself. The car knows the street. When it meets traffic, it will control itself. When it sees people, it will control itself. And the time is coming. Even when 2 cars are about to have accident, they will communicate with themselves and they will separate themselves from crashing. They will detect themselves and they will not crash anymore. A time is coming, there's not going to be car accidents anymore. Because when cars are coming, they will see themselves and they themselves will protect themselves. That is what we call AI, artificial intelligence and machine learning. The 5th generation and the future of computer technology. It's just because today is not a day for generations of computers. Like right now, I'll be showing you what is happening. So in upcoming lessons, we'll be talking about that, and you will see things that will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. That is why you have to study IT now. So over here, the video talked about binary. He said the computer sees information as ones and zeros. Do you remember? But it knows how to combine them into pictures, movies, websites, games, and a whole lot more. Let me tell you, everything within a computer is just zeros and ones. If you want to go into the world of IT, this is what you will be introduced to. We'll have a lesson on this, and you'll be taught how to understand this and how to read it, and even how to write in this code. We'll be treating binary very soon. If you check the table of contents, you'll see that very soon we'll have binary. So movies are binary codes, pictures are binary codes, websites are binary codes. All the information on your pen drive, they are just binary codes. Now, the video said
of hardware and software. Computers use a combination of hardware and software.
Computers use a combination of what? Hardware and software. Have you ever heard of hardware before? What is hardware? Hardware refers to the physical component of the computer. Hardware refers to what? The physical component of the computer, such as the system unit, all of its internal components like the cables, the sub-components like the power supply, your hard drive, your optical disk drive, your RAM, the heatsink, the RAM is here, heatsink, the processor. The processor is under the heatsink, the NOR bridge, the expansion slots, the CMOS battery, and the external components such as your keyboard, your mouse, your monitor, your printer, your scanner. Your external hard drives, your pen drives, all these form the hardware of the computer. And these physical components, they are the parts of the computer that we can see and touch. What you cannot see and touch is what happens inside the computer. And that is the software. And yesterday, we've talked a great deal about software. And we talked about system software and what? And what? Application software. We said application software can also be called applications or apps. Have you ever heard of apps before? We talk about system software. We said they are operating systems. Example, Windows. Now, this part of the video, he said that when most people hear computers or talk about computers, what they know and what they have in their minds is personal computers. Because beginners are people who have not seen much about the technology world or the computer world, and all they know are PCs. Your laptop, your desktop, your smartphone, your tablet, your notebook. That's all people know, and most people think that these are computers or all the computers we have. But PCs are not the only types of computers. Now, the video went ahead and said that PCs, which I've mentioned, desktop laptops, they come in two main styles. They come in two main words. There's one that we generally refer to as PC, and another one we generally refer to as Mac. When you hear someone say PC, they are actually thinking of Windows-based computers. When you hear someone talking about Mac, they are thinking about Apple computers. Are you here? Hello? So the PCs, they are manufactured by different companies like Toshiba. Have you ever seen a Toshiba computer before? A Toshiba laptop? Have you ever seen a Dell computer? Lenovo, Acer, Sony, Samsung. All these computers, they are running an operating system we call Microsoft what? Windows. Now, more than 70%, almost up to 80% of all computers in the world are like this. That is why beginners and most people think that Windows is the only operating system around. But you need to take the time in your studies to learn about Apple computers. Hello? When it comes to Apple computers, they have their desktops and their laptops. Are you here? Do you see the laptop I'm using? It is an Apple laptop. Actually, it's a notebook. When we get to notebooks, I'll explain what a notebook is. An Apple desktop is called... Please, are you here? I said an Apple desktop is called... What do you see? What do you see? What do you see? Whenever someone mentions iMac, they are talking about an Apple desktop. Have you ever seen an Apple desktop before? When was the last time you saw one? Right now. Okay, so what you are seeing is an iMac. Were you here when we turned it on the last time? This is an iMac. These iMacs, they do not have separate system units like your desktop computer. An iMac does not have a separate system unit. The Windows-based desktop has a system unit. Have you seen a system unit before? Where's the system unit? Where is it? Underwear? Underwear? Where the one who put it there? Okay, so that is a system unit. But when it comes to an iMac or when it comes to iMacs, the monitor is the same as the system unit. So when you want to turn it on, you just turn on the monitor. The button is at the back. You turn it on and you can go ahead and use it. You have to connect a keyboard and a mouse. If you have the Apple keyboard and mouse, most of them are wireless. So you just place the keyboard in front with no cable. Place the mouse next to it with no cable. Have you seen some before? I have all those things here. The Apple keyboard. You can choose to connect a cable or not. Just place it in front and it will work. It will connect with Bluetooth. And you can type and use your mouse as well. Hello? Have you seen the Apple mouse? Have you seen this Apple mouse? Apple Magic Mouse. Please, are you here? Hello? Did I tell you that this mouse alone is around 900 cedis? This mouse alone. You see? There's no cable, but I can use it to control this machine right now. Do you see it moving? Hello? Have you seen it moving? Have you seen me use it? That's a Magic Mouse. The keyboard is in the office right now. let me tell you, these machines are called iMacs and their laptops are called MacBooks. So when you hear iMac, what is an iMac? So an Apple desktop computer is called what? When you hear MacBook, what is a MacBook? Apple laptop. Okay, now let me tell you a third one. An Apple tablet computer is called what? Have you heard iPad before? Hello? When you hear iPad, it means an Apple tablet. The tablet you saw the lady using in the video is not an Apple tablet. Did you see a lady using a tablet? Yes. It's not an Apple tablet, and that tablet, you can't call it an iPad. It's not an Apple tablet. It is only the Apple tablet that we call what? If it's not an Apple tablet, just call it a tablet. Just call it a tablet computer. Who can tell me what a tablet computer is or how it looks like? I can't hear what you are saying. Who can tell me about tablet computer? A tablet computer is a handheld computer without a keyboard and a mouse, but uses a touch screen and is larger than a smartphone. Have you seen one before? Okay, so the tablets around are not all Apple tablets. If it's an Apple tablet, then you call it what? An iPad. If it's not an Apple tablet, you call it tablet. Let me add one more. An Apple smartphone is called what? iPhone. Have you heard of iPhone before? Let me add one more. An Apple music player PDA is called iPod. Did you hear of iPod? Maybe iPod, when in the days of iPod, maybe you were very young. But there was a time everyone had an iPod. It's a music player, MP3 player. You load your music on it. At first, we had some MP3 players that we just load our music on. So you put your earpiece on and you connect your iPod. There was a time everyone had an iPod. iPod was very common. Today in Ghana, iPod is not that common, but it's common in other countries. So we have iPod, iPad, iPhone, iMac. This company that makes I. The name of the company is what? The name of the company is what? Apple. Now, over here, you see that Apple, iMacs, and MacBooks, they run an operating system we call what? Now, Mac OS is the operating system. In the past, we used to call them Mac OS X or Mac OS 10. Like in the video, you hear Mac OS 10, right? The 10 here is just a version. Like the way we have Windows 10, right? We have Microsoft Windows, right? And we have Windows 10. The reason why Mac OS 10 stayed for long and most people call it Mac OS 10 is because it took several years for them to create a higher version that is not in the 10 range. Most of the Mac OS versions that were coming out were 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, 10.4. So they were all Mac OS 10. So most of the time when you listen to people who knew Mac OS some time ago, they will just be saying Mac OS 10. But today they have created the 11. So we can't even call it Mac OS 10 anymore. When we are talking about Windows, Windows is not just Windows 10. Is Windows 10 the only Windows we have? Which one do we have? We have Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows what? 11. So today we also have Mac OS 11. So don't call it Mac OS 10 anymore. Just call it Mac OS. Is that okay? Are you with me? I'm just analyzing this video for you. So these are other types of computers: smartphones, tablets, TVs, and game consoles. Today we have smart TVs. Have you heard of smart TVs? Smart TVs that you can use to browse the web, go to Facebook, watch Netflix, and a whole lot. Another type of computers we'll be learning about are servers. These servers will have a time for servers. They are not the PCs you know. These servers are used in companies. For example, when you go to the banks, their data is on their servers. Most of these servers, they store company data. When you go to a hospital has their data on their servers. That's why sometimes you hear the server is down. When we are browsing websites, we use a PC to browse a website, but the website is actually stored on a server. And so these servers, they are usually used in offices to connect to computers, and most of the time they store the data of the company. A hospital may have over 1,000 patients, and the data of the patients are not on the doctor's computer. No, the data of the patients are all on their server or their servers. Just that the doctor's computer is connected to the server, and so the doctor can have access to the data. It should show on their computer. When you go to the banks, their information is on their servers. Your account balance and everything is on their servers. Your information is not on the computer of the teller. Do you know that when you go to the bank, you can cash your money from teller 1 or from teller 2 or from teller 3 or from teller 4? Do you know that? How come they can all get your information? Because your information is not on their computer. Your information is on what? And their computers are connected to the what? The server. That is why any teller can cash your money for you, and any branch of the bank can still cash your money for you, because your information is on their what? Their servers. So you'll be learning about servers as well. So this server, that's what they do. They store data and they can share the data on computers. So we have several types of computers all around us. So today we've analyzed this video. We've talked about the language of computers, and we've talked about some of the things computers can do. and a whole lot more. We will have a lesson that will take us into the system and tell us about the component within the system, and all of us will learn the various parts of the computer and know how to put them together. You will know how to control the keyboard, understand all the keys. The key here, this key here, do you know what it does? This key here is one of the most powerful keys on your keyboard, but I don't know what it does. So we'll be learning about the keyboard, we'll be learning about the mouse, we'll be learning about everything within the computer to help you have understanding of what a computer is and how to use computers effectively. So in our next lesson, I thought we'll be able to go into it today, but time hasn't permitted us. We'll be talking about how computers work, and we'll talk about the 4 basic tasks of computers. That is input, storage, processing, and output. In our next lesson, that is what we'll be doing.